Hello and welcome to my hardtack video. Hardtack is a food that soldiers would eat during the Civil War, and it would stay good without going bad, and it would fill them up. And from what I hear, it did not taste very good. I've never had it and I've never made it, but you guys are going to enjoy it. Enjoy the demonstration of me making it, and you are more than welcome to make it at home as well. So welcome to the hardtack video. The first thing we have to do is prep up the oven to bake at 375. And here's our recipe. We need 4.5 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of salt, and 1.5 cups of water. So we're going to get those out. A few of the other things you're going to need for this is some sort of a baking sheet on a rack, a big old bowl, a rolling pin, and something to poke holes with. You'll see that later. Here's the flour, measuring cup, salt, and your instructions. While I started making this, my 7-year-old daughter Avery decided that she wanted to help, and she is going to be my assistant for our hardtack making. So say hi, Avery. Hello. Everybody say hi to Avery. We're going to make some hardtack. Let's do this. Okay, first thing we're going to do is get out our 4.5 cups of white flour, which Avery's doing a good job of. 1. 2. All right, and the next thing you need to do is 3 tablespoons of salt. I've already done 1 of them. There's 2. While I'm doing this, it makes me think of, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, it makes me think of when they stop by Galadriel's wooded forest house, and she gives them all the lembas bread, and then they end up eating the lembas bread like non-stop for the next months. That's what hardtack kind of reminds me of. So there's our 3 tablespoons of salt. Okay, and now we're going to add 1.5 cups worth of water into our bowl. Perfect. And so I started to mix it up with a spoon. Then I realized that was not going to work very well. And so I ended up taking it out of the bowl and doing what you're supposed to do with it, which is knead the dough. It says, the instructions say, to make the dough pliable, whatever that means, pliable enough so you can roll it with your rolling pin. So after you work with it on the counter with your hands, you're able to get it to a point where you can really start to mess with it and then really start to get it to come together. So, which I think we have done. So we'll kind of get it to a point where we want to roll it, and we want to do a rolling pin with to make it about 1 inch thick, which is about what we have anyway, but I think it's going to keep growing and growing. So
I can
we'll roll it
smell
with
it.
a rolling pin, and you can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Just smell. What does it smell like?
Just dough.
Just dough.
Dry dough.
Yeah, just dough.
Okay.
So we're just rolling it out. Ooh. So it says 1 inch thick, but I'm making it much thinner than that. And I think that's going to be okay. All right. Then we take a cutter. I'm grabbing a pizza cutter, and you cut it into squares. And so I'm just going to cut it like that. This reminds me of my old days when I used to work at Valentino's Pizza and rock the dough in the morning. Feels very similar, actually. All right, so you cut it into little squares or rectangles or whatever the bites you'd like. In our dough like that. Again, we used a little something like this, and we just poked it the whole way down. I guess it's a giant chopstick or something. So did that, and now we'll put it on our baking sheet. All right, so we're gonna put this on our baking sheet. Probably give each piece some room to grow a little bit, as I imagine it would. Oh, we'll make room. Boom. All right. We'll put this thing in the oven. There we go. 375, and it says to do it for 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm going to do it for 35, split the difference, and there we go. All right, so our hardtack is done with the oven. As you can probably hear it, the timer is done. We've cooked for 35 minutes at 375. Now we're golden. We're going to pull it out, and it says, look at that. It's hard. It's tacky. All right, and so it says to let it completely cool. So let's set it on top of the oven. It says to let it completely cool before we do anything with it. Thankfully, today is a pretty cold day. We're recording this on Easter. You probably remember how cold it was that day. So anyway, I'm going to throw it outside and let it cool pretty quick here after a while. And I'll meet you back for a taste test.
Delicious.
I guess first I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to take one bite, see how it is. See if this could sustain me for one of the big epic battles of the Civil War.
Oh no.
Like a stale cracker.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little salty, but it's not terrible.
Should see if Kiki will eat.
I don't know if I can eat this every day. But, alright, let's try the other members of the family. Okay, you know what? The more you eat it, the more terrible it is. So, I don't know if I can eat this for 4 years. Alright. 3-year-old Hudson is going to have some hardtack right now.
Hudson, eat it. You have to.
Did you take a bite, buddy?
Oh, he just licked it.
Here, take a bite.
It's too salty.
Take a bite.
It's too salty.
Too salty to take a bite? Alright.
Okay.
Alright, we're going to move on to Avery. She's going to try some hardtack. Don't try if you have a loose tooth.
See if the cat will try it.
All right, now we're going to see if a cat likes hardtack. This is Cassius. We'll see if she likes any hardtack. Here, eat the hardtack. No hardtack?